She loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. You know it's up to you. I think it's only fair. Why turn her to apologize to her because she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. Ryan here. Thanks for tuning in. I got a request a bit ago to do She Loves You. Man, this is so fun to play. I just love this music. It's that period of time when the Beatles music is just pure fun all the time. It really rocks. There's so much energy. I just love playing along to this tune. Great to cover it. I learned so much about the tune by digging in, and this one is way more Ringo-y than I thought. First of all, there's the floor tom intro. It's not just the intro, it's also the outro and then in the middle there. But why have that section on floor tom? Who knows? But regardless of what he's thinking about, at the beginning, it has this great effect that it creates. You know, you come in at a certain level of intensity with a certain sound. When he first goes to start keep time on the hi-hats, it's kind of a climactic moment right out of the intro. And you're just kind of drawn in as the audience, as the listener, and you're just like, bam, you're flying high right from the get-go. It's really effective at that. Was he thinking about that when he was like, oh, I'll do some floor tom? Like, I kind of doubt it, but maybe he was. Maybe he was super aware of that. Or maybe that's just, it just felt right, so he went for it. Either way, that's super Ringo-y to me. Somehow he chose to do that floor tom thing at the beginning, and it creates this awesome musical moment when the song starts, right when you're going into the verse. Awesome. So cool. Also, during that floor tom bit, he's got that fill. I've never really thought, when I've listened to this song before, that fill is weird or that it doesn't fit the time or whatever, that it's out of time. But it is. It's weird, and it's all out of time. Like, it's not a straight up chord note triplet. It's not every 3/16. It doesn't fit into, it's like a mix of the two, which is so weird. Clearly he's just feeling it, and the whole band can feel it, and they do so good at just staying together, just playing off of each other, listening and being locked in with each other, that it doesn't really matter. Somehow Ringo, and he does this a lot, somehow he keeps the overall time, like the big picture time is good. Bar to bar, we're good. But little, when you zoom in, when you get like the little pieces in the bar like that, stuff can be all weird and out of time. And somehow that works. And again, I don't know how. I don't know how you can play so out of time on some of these fills and have it work so well. But it does. I've never noticed that before until I deconstructed the track, stripped away the rest of the band, and just focused on the drums. It was like, bam, wow. Some of these, that fill is way out of time on one of them. The second time he plays it, it's super rushed, but the whole band feels it and stays together, and you just don't, I don't think you notice when you're just listening to the tune. Plus, it makes you move, you're dancing, you're having a good time. That's like the last thing you would ever think of. So somehow there's this tremendous groove and vibe and feeling, even though the timing is not that great on some of those fills. To me, that is fascinating. And it almost like disproves a whole ton of theories people have about what creates groove, having to have perfect time or whatever. Does it? I don't know. That's maybe a whole debate that can be had somewhere else some other time. Either way, it's amazing what Ringo manages to achieve. here is amazing. There's some other Ringoisms. The lack of crashes. There's definitely a bunch of crashes, and I'm trying to do more of what's on the record than live. There's a lot more crashes live. But on the record, there's a lot of places he could crash and just doesn't. Like when the intro's over and he goes over to start keeping time on the hi-hats. They get through their last, yeah, 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 yeah. And you would, I think 999 drummers out of 1,000 would bam, crash and go into it. So why doesn't he do that on the record? Who knows? It's so Ringo, though. There's also at the end when they have, those pauses, the drums stop out for a beat and come back in. I would just crash to come back in. It's like, yeah, I need impact, bam. But he doesn't do it. Also, there's this crazy thing I was trying this time, which is this left hand technique. Let me say that I think maybe a significant portion of the population thinks that you hit drums and that's all there is to it. Like you just hit them. What else is there? There's a lot of ways you can hit the drum though. And the way Ringo's doing it here is with a lot of tension, and he even uses his shoulder. He talks about that in interviews he has done recently, how he uses his shoulder. And he's just mashing the stick into the head like this. Or even if the bead comes off the head, he stays on the rim, which I would never ever do. This has been killing my hand. Practicing that and then trying to do it here in a session is killing my hand. I can feel the shock going all the way up like it's all over my palm and going up my thumb, and like it's just such bad technique. Ow. Uh, but I'm trying it just to kind of see what it's like and try to get more Ringo. So I don't know. I probably won't do that again because it's just it hurts. I'm gonna get blisters. It's bad technique. For any drummers out there, younger drummers or people who are learning, don't do that. Let the stick bounce off the head. I think a lot of drummers still do this now to this day. Maybe it's a deliberate choice to get a specific sound or something, and that's totally fine. I mean, I think as long as your choices are musical, there's a musical intent behind them. Great, experiment, try things, do whatever. I don't know why Ringo did it, but I went for it this time. Probably won't again. Ow. He also has the hi-hat not too open. That's a little bit tricky. I've been around drummers before who will, adjust this clutch and make it so that they're just like a little bit open. Oh, that's too much. I'll do this to not have to ever control it with their foot, which is kind of a cop out, like get the skill you need to like control this. During the verse, as things are going along, like during this floor tom bit, he's playing hi-hat notes with his left foot. You're not going to be able to do that if you preset it to be barely open so that you can get the right amount of openness when you're keeping time. You really got to learn to do that with your left foot. So my instinct would have been to keep it more open and get more just sustained. But when Ringo's playing on the record, you can distinctly hear his eighth note timekeeping in the midst of all that sustain. So I try to keep a little more closed to achieve that. Anyway, Ringo Starr is the man. It's amazing that the Beatles can sound so cohesive, be so together, playing live and in the studio. It's amazing that they achieve certain effects musically that when you look at the individual pieces, you might not think that you would get that effect. But somehow when you put all the ingredients together and mix it together, it just creates this great result. I just love it. I love the music. And yeah, Ringo Starr is the man. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.